Hello everybody and welcome again to the Red Shadow's Favorite Games. I'm the Red Shadow, and today we're going to be talking about something that's a little more recent for me. A lot of the games on this list, the ones you've seen and the ones to come, range in a spectrum of years from early 90s up until current day. And the game I'm talking about today is current for me, even though the game itself has been around for a little while. But and it's not even really officially a game, or is it? It's hard to say. But the game is called Garry's Mod. And what it is a mod of Half-Life 2, taking the source engine and assets and things from Half-Life 2, and I guess in a way Counter-Strike Source, although I think I may be wrong on this, but I think Counter-Strike Source is also taken from Half-Life 2. But somebody's basically like taken the elements of these games and the Source engine and modded it into these fun little mini games. Games that I play almost on a regular basis. In fact, I was playing Murder and Prop Hunt both last night. Those are probably two of my favorite modes in Garry's Mod. And I'm going to talk about those and some of the other modes that I haven't got to play yet, but that I want to because I've watched them played. But my favorite mode for sure is Murder. And in Murder, what happens is you have a group of people, and this can be 2 people, this can be 30 people. I've seen that about that many people on a server. And one person is the murderer, one person is an innocent bystander with a weapon, and everybody else is innocent bystanders that are unarmed. And the object of the game is for the murderer to kill everybody before he gets killed. And the only way that he can be killed is if the person with the gun shoots him, or if somebody else manages to earn a gun, and some maps let you pick up items throughout the level, and if you get 5 of those items, you will also have a gun. Or, of course, the murderer can kill the person with the gun and someone else can pick the gun up. Or the innocent person can shoot another innocent person, which causes them to lose the gun and causes them to walk and be blinded for like 10-20 seconds. And that's it. It's just a battle for which side wins. And there seems to be advantages and disadvantages to both sides in that situation. The murderer has a couple of special perks. One is the ability to throw their knife. For the most part, they run around and they just try to stab when they get close to somebody. But they also have the ability to toss that knife at somebody, and if your aim is true, you'll get that person. And that's kind of a fun feeling when you're the murderer and you manage to throw that knife and peg somebody from a distance. And another thing the murderer can do is they can sprint. By holding down the shift button, they can run a little bit faster than the bystanders. That's their benefits, but the disadvantage is, of course, the murderer has to kill everybody else who's there. So if that's 10 other people or 25 other people, that's a lot of work to do, considering there's going to be other people out there gunning for you with their guns. Now, the bystander with the weapon, as I said, has a weapon. They have a gun, which is, for the most part, a one-shot kill. But I have seen times, even with myself, that other people I've watched playing the game shoot somebody and you see blood come off of that person's body, but they don't go down. And every time you shoot the gun, it's not realistic, of course, but every time you shoot the gun, you have to reload it. So if you miss with that shot, it takes a couple seconds to reload and be able to shoot again, which is precious time for the murderer to either get you or hightail it out of there and try to get away from you. I neglected to mention another perk that the murderer has. They can see footprints, colored footprints that pertain to each of the bystanders on the map, because every person on the map, including the murderer, has a different colored shirt, and their footprints are in that color of their shirt on the ground. So you can kind of track people as they're going around, whether they're going to hide or they're just running away from you, although the footprints do disappear over time. Another disadvantage the murderer has, though, is if they don't murder anybody for a while, they start to smoke. Smoke starts to come off of them. which is also something that their knife has on them, just in case they throw the knife and they need to go pick it back up. It smokes a little bit so that they can find it, but that also gives them away. If you see a smoking flying knife going through the air, you know the murder's nearby. And then if you see somebody running around and they're smoking, like black smoke is wisping off of them, you know they're the murderer. You need to get away, or you need to kill them if you've got the gun. It's a somewhat intricate and detailed kind of game. But the guy with the gun, as I said before, if he shoots the wrong person, he'll lose his gun and his vision will go black, and he'll only move very, very slowly for a certain amount of time, which makes him a sitting duck unless somebody else is nearby and picks up the gun and can blow away the murderer before they can come and kill them both. Another advantage, I'm trying to think here because I had all this stuff kind of coordinated in my brain and now it's gone. But like the disadvantage for the murderer is that they have so many people to kill. The advantage for the bystander with the gun is that they only have the one person to kill. But as I've said before, the fact that the knife can be thrown at them, the fact that they have to reload, the fact that they don't have the sprint option makes it also tough for them. I just think that it's very well balanced. I've played as the murderer and been able to mow through a large amount of people and not get killed. I've also been the murderer and couldn't even kill one person before I got blasted. Same goes for me as the guy with the gun. I have had times where I have picked off the murderer from so far away it wasn't even funny. They were jumping, zigzagging, moving all over the place. Boom, one shot and they're down. I've had other times where I'm right up there. They're just like this massive target right in front of me, and I can't shoot them for shit. Which is one of those things. This is one of those games that, along with WoW and Rust, has made me come out a little bit of my shell as far as playing games online with other people. But you can talk in all of them, like you can chat. But a lot of people come out in this game here and really rag on you for stuff. But I've learned to kind of just let it slide and not let it get to me so much. But anyway, that's Murder. It's super, super lots of fun. Love to play it. Have a good time on it. I play on a server on there called vertgaming.com. You can find me on there a whole lot. The main map, I don't know if it's the main murder map or it's just like the de facto map for that server, is called Office. I know that thing like in and out. I know every route to go. I can almost run all the way through it backwards, which is a handy thing to be able to do when you have the gun, so that you can see anybody who's chasing you. You can see whether or not they're trying to throw the knife at you. But I know the Office very, very well. I know a lot of other maps pretty well. And like I said, it's just a whole lot of fun. Now, my second favorite Garry's Mod mode is called Prop Hunt. Prop Hunt is like a whole other animal. You get two teams of players, one team of props, one team of hunters. And the object of the game is, as a prop, you start off as this little T-pose scientist guy who I'm pretty sure is from Half-Life 2, and he glides around the map, and you control him to a prop, something that you can become. Some props you cannot become, some you can. Sometimes you can go up to a can and be it, but you can't be, like a dresser or a giant table. In other maps, you can become a whole wrecked car on the side of the road. It's just kind of, I guess, up to the whim of the person who makes the map. But you become the prop, and then you go somewhere on the map and you try to hide it out. And you try to do it fairly. Some maps may not have been originally meant for prop hunt, so you can become like a little tiny bottle or something, and then you can go hide behind a giant object where nobody can see you. The object is to try to be fair about it and be visible as long as they're looking. If they can see you from some angle, then you're okay. If you get behind something where nobody can see you, then it's cheatsy doodle, as per Nanners, who knows how to find all that kind of stuff in Prop Hunt and those other games. But you become a prop, and then you have to wait it out. I think it's like a 4.5 minute time limit. You have 30 seconds to hide and 4.5 minutes to survive on a typical map, because the other team, the hunters, who are all armed with typically a crowbar, I think it's an SMG with one grenade that they can launch, and a shotgun. and you have to go seek out items. You have to look for things that look out of place, or you just have to grab every item in the game and see if you can move it. If you can't move it, it's probably a prop or a person as a prop, and then you try to shoot it and destroy them. And whichever team succeeds, either the hunter eliminates all the props and they win, or the props outlast the time limit and the props win. But that's the aim of the game, and then you switch to the other side, although there's a mechanic in it that allows people, like if they were a prop and they get killed, they can then switch to the hunter's side, so that when it switches the next time they'll be a prop again. That pisses me off to no end. It's like, just play the game the right way, go back and forth and have your time with it. But there are a few maps on there, including the office one, that there's some spots that I know that are legit and they're not cheating, and I can usually get through a round. Although I like to do taunts. You can taunt your opponent with these crazy little sound bites, but that'll let the hunters know where you are, basically, like close to your proximity. But I like to do that anyway. Office is a good one. There's another one I played, I think that's called The Compound, that has what I consider to be like one of my best hiding spots ever, because it's almost so obvious that people just don't think to look. But I don't get to play on that map very often because I try to vote for that map. Nobody else votes for it. But anyway, Prop Hunt is a blast, although it is a whole lot of waiting. Now, Murder is a lot of waiting, but you move around when you're doing it. Prop Hunt, you basically have to go and hide someplace, or else take that risk of being exposed if you decide to run around like a maniac. Those are my two favorite modes. Now, there's 3 or 4 other modes that I really enjoy watching people play on YouTube, but I've never got to play on myself. That's Trouble in Terrorist Town, Hide and Seek, Melon Bomber, which is a newer one, but I was never a Bomberman person. This is basically Bomberman in Gmod. And then there's like the Hidden / Stalker, which both look interesting, but I've just never got a chance to play those. TTT, I think, is probably the next most popular one out there. The only reason why I haven't played it is because, I don't know, it seems to be dependent on 2 things. One, these crazy extra factors that are out there, like there's a detective who has the ability to do a few things. As a trader, you have a lot of traps you can trip, you have a lot of things you can buy from the trader's store. Those are things that I'm just not so sure I could at least get adapted to quickly. And the biggest one of them all seems to be that it's more a game to be played with people when you're talking, like over Skype or some sort of like inside Steam chat, where you can talk to everybody, so you can kind of play out the roles that you've been selected in. And I just haven't had that ability to. I just don't really have people I can play with and talk to in the game at the same time. The Vert Gaming servers I play Prop Hunt and Murder on don't do any of the voice chat options. But that's an interesting one where you get like 1 or 2 traitors, and then the rest of them are innocent terrorists, and you have to determine who is who. And usually the traitors have to try to kill somebody when nobody else is around. But if they're caught, then people will try to kill them. It's an interesting mode, and hopefully I'll get to play that someday. Hide and Seek is just as it sounds. It's hide and seek. There'll be one seeker, or maybe multiple if you have a lot of people playing the game. And the hiders have to go somewhere, and they get tagged by the seeker. If the seeker gets close enough to them, then they become a seeker and have to go find the other hiders. Just standard hide and seek kind of thing put in a video game, but it always looked really, really fun. It's another one of those hurry up and wait games, though. Spend a lot of time just sitting there. Melon Bomber, as I said before, is just Bomberman in Gmod form, but it looks really, really interesting. Definitely a fun multiplayer style game. So once again, that kind of leaves me at a disadvantage. Like, I don't know, if I could just jump into a public server and play that. And then the Hidden and Stalker are kind of similar to me. Basically, one person is some sort of a creature, and everybody else are, soldiers armed with weapons, and they have to try to kill that creature, who can be like invisible and can do things like telekinetic. It has telekinetic properties, can throw things, and it looks cool, but it's just not up there that high for me with like Murder and Prop Hunt. So anyway, we're running to about the 15-minute mark, which is, I didn't even think it would get that long. But Gmod, aka Garry's Mod, extremely fun. If you want to play it, you just need to go like on Steam. Make sure you have all the Counter-Strike source packages. In fact, I think there's a Garry's Mod package that will give you everything that you need for it. And I think I paid $10 for mine, but that may have been on sale. But it's also from the same guy that did Rust, so it's kind of cool. I feel like I'm supporting a couple of really cool game projects by the same guy. So anyway, check it out. Give it a shot. Hey, if there's anybody out there who sees this video and likes to play those games and you're not one of those overly obsessive, like, tryharders, like, I gotta beat everybody and it's uber competition, and you wanna, if you're not like that and you wanna play with somebody else who's kind of chill about it, you know, hit me up in the comments or something like that, and we can maybe play Gmod sometime. Okay, well anyway, I'm stumbling my way out of this video, so thanks a lot for watching another one of the Red Shadow's favorite games. I'll see you in the next video.